What's good, T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 14, Episode 5. I want to let you guys know that I'm going to be coming with an exclusive about Teresa and Jennifer Aydin being exposed for being very, very devious and scandalous behind the scenes, feeding information to bloggers, and just doing a lot of just nasty things to her castmates, having people investigated, having people go to Louis' ex-girlfriend's therapy place, pretending to need help to see if she's gonna expose any information on Louis. Y'all, it's a lot. So be on the lookout for that video, because it's a mess, and that's part of the reason why we're not getting a reunion this year, because so much stuff has been coming out about Teresa and Jennifer Aydin behind the scenes. But anywho, so on last night's episode, Dolores has dinner with her kids and Frank. Frank practices proposing to Brittany with Dolores, and we also find out that Dolores wants to get a place with Paulie because, you know, his house is beautiful, but it's not hers. But she also states that they can't make that move until he gets a divorce, you know, and you can tell that she's bothered by the situation. You can tell that she's bothered by the fact that Frank is getting married and moving on with his life. I don't think it's a jealousy or anything like that, or her feeling some type of way. I just think that it's a situation where everybody's moving forward with their life and I'm still stuck. Like, Dolores is still stuck in the same situation that she was with that doctor. Obviously, this is a situation with her and Paulie where she has not learned her lesson. God is trying to teach her a lesson, and she keeps on failing. She keeps on settling for men that don't make her a priority. And just because now she's with one that spends more time with her, she thinks that this is the one, when in all actuality, it's not looking like it is, because she's talking about he's the type of man that don't want to offend anybody and doesn't want to hurt anyone and all of this type of stuff. It ain't about hurting nobody. Like, if they ain't been together in over 10 years, why are they still a couple, child? Nah, Dolores, you're making a fool out of yourself, and you have not learned your lesson at all. Melissa, Danielle, and Rachel get together with their kids and go go-kart riding. And Danielle tells them that she's going to have a bougie lunch because she can't invite everybody to her fashion show during New York Fashion Week. And Danielle reveals to the girls that she hasn't talked to her father in over a year because she feels like her father is always taking her brother's side. This stuff with Danielle and her family sounds so childish and so stupid. It's like, is this for real? Like, are y'all serious with this? Because this just cannot be the reason why you haven't spoken to your father in a year. If so, all of y'all need a therapist, some bless all, a corner, a straight jacket, because it just doesn't add up and it doesn't make any sense, and y'all all should be ashamed of yourselves. Melissa goes on to tell her that, you know, she wished that she could have a moment with her father, and, you know, if you can work it out, work it out. Teresa and Jennifer go and get facials at Bill's med spa practice or whatever, and it just cracked me up how Jennifer came in there trying to talk to his employees like she running something. Hey everybody, so how's everything going? Is any people on the books? Where's Bill? Is he in surgery? Okay, do you guys have everything set up? All right, did anybody give me a phone? Like, girl, sit down somewhere. You ain't running nothing up there, and they don't with you like that. So please stop, Jennifer, please. So while they're in the room getting their facials and everything, Jennifer tells Teresa how Jackie and Marge was getting into it before the softball game. And they decided they're going to give Jackie a phone call because they're messy. So Jackie was like, you know, it would be so bad for me to talk about Margaret to you guys, but she was basically defending Danielle and why it was right for her to leave me out. And see, this is why I can't with her ass. because you literally just said out your loose lip mouth that it would be wrong for her to talk about Margaret to them, her ops that you know don't like her, and then you talking negative about your so-called close friend to that you know don't like her. Like, what are you on, Jackie? Like, get her off of my screen. It's giving desperate, it's giving delusional, it's giving thirsty. Of course, Teresa was loving every second of it. Like, look, she just said she wasn't gonna talk about her, but she's talking about her. Oh, we got her. And it's just like, oh my God. Marge, on the other hand, is at her house telling her mom and her husband what happened with Jackie at the softball game. And we then go back to Teresa and Jennifer on the phone with Jackie. And Jackie was like, I used to want to hold on to relationships, and to do that, I used to want to make everyone happy, but I'm not in that space anymore with anybody. I don't ever see Jackie as being a people pleaser and somebody that was easily ran over. That girl was not being taken advantage of by Marge in the least. So Teresa's like, you're standing on your own 2 feet. Like, congratulations. Like, you're doing it, girl. You're doing it. So Jackie in her confessional was like, I'm not an idiot. I know what Teresa and Jennifer are trying to do, and I'm not going to be the person that gives them the fuel for their fire in their silly fights with Margaret. But it does feel good to have people concerned about how I feel and wanting to really be friends. If you saying that you're not an idiot and you see what they're doing, then how in the same sentence could you even have it come out your mouth that they trying to be your friends? You know well Teresa could give about your ass. If Teresa today, she would, because she liked that man. Jennifer also don't give about your dumb ass at all. Margaret and Melissa were real genuine friends to this heifer, and the way she just turning her back on them and feeding them to the wolves is just beyond me. Like, she is so fake. So they get off the phone and Teresa was like, I'm going to follow her now on IG. Of course you are. Danielle shows Teresa her kids' clothes when Teresa comes by the crib to see her. And Teresa calls the clothes basic. But she said that she wasn't saying it in a mean, derogatory way. But I mean, the clothes was trash. I'm just going to be honest. They was trash. They were trash. I wouldn't spend my money on that BS. So Danielle isn't going to tell Teresa that she invited Melissa to her fashion show. And I guess because I feel like the reason she didn't want to tell her is maybe she would have felt like if Teresa knew, she either wouldn't come or she would get mad at her. I don't know. But like, I need for these heifers to stop acting like Teresa is Godzilla or somebody. Like, this girl got like a 4th grade education. So, Danielle brings up to Teresa that Fessler told Margaret that Jen was making fun of her, and says that everyone says that, I was set up. Teresa's like, well, you can ask her about that. I don't know. Teresa always want to act like she don't know what's going on and she wasn't involved in anything, even though she is the mastermind behind all of the things that go on. She just has Jennifer as her mouthpiece and as her spokesperson, but y'all both are in cahoots with this stuff and y'all ain't fooling nobody. Teresa, you've been doing the same crap for years. Danielle was like, well, why didn't she tell me Melissa knew? And Teresa's like, I don't know. You have to ask her. I mean, when Jennifer told you, you didn't have to repeat it. And that right there, Danielle showed you they don't give about you at all. Girl, you were set up, period. So Jen and Melissa meet up, and Melissa brings up the rumors from last season where they were talking about she was allegedly cheating on Joe in the backseat of some car, child. And Jen was like, I didn't spread a rumor. In fact, I tried every which way not to bring it up. Girl, you and Teresa couldn't wait to get on camera and bring it up. Like, y'all brought it up every chance you could get. She told me some Danielle pressured me. she gonna pressure you about something she didn't know about? What? Girl, she said there was no way for me to tell her that you already knew without me telling her that Louis had already had this conversation with Joe. It wasn't my place to let her know that. You don't even make sense, ma'am. If it wasn't your place to tell her that, then it wasn't your place to bring it up, period. You're not making any sense at all. And I wish Melissa would have called her out on that because, girl, what are you talking about? So Melissa was like, I mean, it's obvious you have a hard on for my husband. And Jim was like, it's a lip with your husband. I would have been like, well, lip dick, at least my husband want to me, bitch. Like, woo! I would have ate her up at that table because you know that's the easiest way to get her ass is by talking about Bill not liking her ass. So they end up deciding that they're gonna start anew. I don't understand why. Y'all don't like each other. It'll never work. Jen mouth is too reckless. I wouldn't even care at this point, but I guess they have to because they're on a television show, so they have to play nice. Margaret has Melissa and Fessler over to her house, and Fessler points out that Margaret has been off lately, and they talk about Jan's passing, and she says that she feels like Jan, made her marriage to Joe work and be better for some strange reason, and it's really taken a lot out of her. Melissa tells them that Jen admitted that she was collateral damage last season and that she was actually coming for Margaret. And Margaret was looking like you ain't telling me nothing I already know. So once again, I'm sitting there looking at Jen Fessler like, and you want to be friends with these people? And how about you running and telling Margaret that Jen was making fun of Danielle? Did you tell Margaret how Teresa called her a dog? Nah, I bet you didn't do that, did you? So it's the day of the bougie brunch, honey. And everybody's there in their glittery outfits, and Danielle in them disco Studio 54 pants wasn't gonna bother me. Everybody's having a good time, and Danielle decides that she's gonna confront Jen about talking about her. She was like, I heard you was talking about me to somebody at your party. And she was like, yeah, it was Lena. Now, remember, Lena has done Teresa's hair before, so they know this girl. Danielle was like, I feel like you guys should have defended me. She shouldn't have been in the VIP section. Like, she's insignificant to what we got going on, this, that, and the third. I didn't like how she tried to downplay this person like she was a nobody or whatever. Now, as far as her saying that the girl didn't belong in the VIP section, if she didn't belong there, she didn't belong there. And just because she called her and asked her to do her hair when her shop wasn't open doesn't mean that you just automatically get special privileges at my event. Like, I could see if the girl did her hair opened up her salon, did her hair for free and all of that type of stuff, then I'll really be feeling some type of way. But y'all don't know each other. She asked you to do a service. She obviously paid you for said service. She didn't even give you a ticket. You had to buy a ticket to her event. So you just don't automatically get to assume that you could be over in VIP section and you didn't pay for VIP section. So, I mean, do with that as you please. Teresa was like, don't come at me saying we should have stuck up for you. I don't know what you had going on with her. Teresa don't never know nothing but know everything. Okay. Danielle asked Jen, was she imitating her? And she was like, I'm always animated when I'm explaining stuff, trying to downplay the situation. When at the end of the day, if me and you so-called cool, why would you bring somebody on camera to talk about me? Girl, like the fact that they even pretend like this stuff is not going on the way that it's going on is beyond me. It's so diabolical. Like, I would have been like, why the would you bring this on this show to sit up and talk crazy about me? You know what the you doing? Stop playing with me, Pluto, before I bill. Danielle was like, I want you two to answer me honestly. Did you set me up? They both say no, but Teresa get an attitude like, don't come at me like that. Don't be questioning me. So Melissa just sitting there looking like this. Her. Jen then asks Jackie what happened with her and Margaret. And before she can even speak, here goes Teresa. Jack, she doesn't care about you. Melissa was like, Jack, don't listen to that. You're way smarter than that. Like, girl, let's not do that. Jackie then was like, I'm gonna be friends with who I want to be friends with. And nobody's gonna tell me what to do. Ugh. So Danielle then jumps in and asks Rachel, has she and Teresa talked? And Teresa she was like, no. So then they start their mess. And Teresa says that she didn't say that John was a schmug dealer currently, even though she did. They played it back. And that his ex said it. And Rachel was like, be very effing cautious about exes. If any exes are talking, it's effing Louis. Okay? So I would quit while you're effing ahead. Like, don't play with me, girl. Like, this ain't what you want. Sorry, you guys, my camera ended up going out. But anywho, so Teresa was like, don't poke the bear. And if I was Rachel, I would have been like, girl, damn bear, I will eat the bear. I'm a killer whale. Don't play with me. But she was like, what was your intention in bringing it up? Teresa was like, I said whatever's out there. I don't know if it's true or not. He's a parking attendant, right? That's what he is. He's a parking attendant, right? But just the fact that your 50-something-year-old ass sitting up here repeating stuff that you don't know if it's true or not says a lot about who you are as a person and your character. You're childish AF. So Rachel was like, yeah, sure. He's a parking attendant. He makes $5 an hour. And Teresa was like, well, maybe being a dealer would be better. Girl, I would have been like, oh, you want to go there. So at this point, Rachel becomes activated. And she was like, my husband has built a life for himself and his family. What the f*** you done, you stupid? She was like, you went to prison as a grown woman, and what have you done? And baby, Teresa didn't know what to say or what to do. She was just sitting there staring off into space, acting like she was unbothered and talking about she's young and stupid. I'm not doing this. Yeah, of course you're not doing this, because she eating your up. So Rachel was like, and you're old and stupid, has been. How have you brought yourself up, Teresa? You're a fucking bully. You picked on Jackie's fucking marriage, and here go Jackie. I don't even give that anymore. And Melissa was like, but Jackie, she picked on your marriage and it hurt you, and I'll never let you deny that. And it's like, girl, we're not going to sit up here and try to rewrite time and act like when that lady accused your husband of cheating on you that you won. Watch, baby, you was crying every 5 minutes, having a whole nervous breakdown. You even said it made you, relapse or whatever with your anorexia or bulimia. Like, you were going through it, like you were stressed out. So we're not gonna act like this just water under the bridge now and it really didn't matter and all of this stuff. Like, girl, like, we're not about to play those types of games. Jackie was like, oh, Melissa, don't do that, because it's very apparent what you're doing, so stop it. And Melissa was like, you know I'm right. And she was like, no, you're not right, because you don't know what's going on. Why are you trying to convince me right now that I should still be mad about it? And she wasn't trying to convince you that you should still be mad about it. She was just sitting up here saying, like, girl, we not gonna act like you was impressed about what that girl did to you. Like, girl, like, we're not about to play these types of games. You could be friends with her all day long, but we're not gonna act like you wasn't literally about to jump off a bridge behind it. So Danielle jumps in at this point and she was like, I'm sorry, like, I love you, Tree, with every bit of my heart, but this right here is comical to me. She was like, she says to Jackie, she was like, you sitting up here dogging your girl who sat next to you till you were blue in the face. You was repping this chick. And Jackie telling myself, who am I dogging? Who am I dogging? Trying to act like she don't know what going on. And in her confessional talking about some, I've been moved on from my issues with Teresa. Girl, okay, all right. So Teresa gathers her gifts, honey, and she leaves. And Dolores, once she leaves, tells Rachel that it's going to take her a few days for it to settle in what just happened. And when it does, the next time she sees you, she's going to come for you. And Rachel was like, okay, and like, who is she supposed to be, the big bad wolf? And Dolores told him, so if I was you, I would sleep with one eye open. Girl, Dolores, just because you a punk don't mean, just because you're afraid to speak your true thoughts to Teresa don't mean that everybody else is. And who the is Teresa? Nobody. And it goes to show how dumb and dense she is that it'll take her 3 days to understand how she just got cussed out in front of everybody. Like, girl, I'm not about to be scared of nobody literally that is hooked on phonics. Ugh. Y'all get ready for my expose on Teresa and Jennifer Aiden. I cannot wait to expose they. Overall, though, I'm going to give this week's episode an A. I love the fact that Rachel got in her honey. I love the fact that Danielle was activated and standing on business. I'm really loving them as a duo, honey. Jackie, Jennifer, and Teresa, Dolores can all kick rocks, and Jen Fessler, don't care for none of them. Y'all let me know, however, what y'all thought about the episode. Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.